Hello, my loves. Welcome to your reading, Leos and Leo placement peoples. This is going to be a real quick, easy one, I promise you, because this message is probably something that you already know and you've already been telling yourself, but you just need somebody else to say it to you. I get that sense from this reading, but also it's something that I feel like you need clarity on because it's like a big pattern that you just kind of keep investing in. So, without further ado, this is a start, stop, continue reading. I got inspiration from a job that I had for a like professional and personal development practice that we use to create this spread. So, start, stop, continue is for the thoughts, actions, beliefs, and behaviors that you need to start doing more of, stop doing because they're not helping you, and continue doing because, yay, it's already supporting you and you're doing a great job. Now, I've added to this spread an obstacle card, which is going to show us something that is important for you to see. It's like a blind spot so that you can understand how to unblock yourself and make all of these other changes that are involved here. So I'll introduce you to the deck that we're using today. This is Voyager Tarot, and you'll see that I'm using a bunch of different decks in all of the other readings, which are 20 minutes or less, except for Cancer. They needed a little extra love. But they're all 20 minutes or less because if you're like me and you're a Sun in Pisces and a Virgo moon and a Leo rising, then you might want to watch all three. You might want to get as many different, avenues for personal growth and for guidance as you possibly can. So I suggest going and checking those out because then you're going to get to see all of the other different decks of cards that I use, but also you'll get like a more well-rounded picture of the message that you're about to get. So make sure that you have water nearby just so you can stay hydrated. And we are going to start with the continue cards for this reading because I love to start with our sharing section. It's like your guides are saying, yay, look at you go. So we are starting off with the Nine of Wands, which is the integrity card. And the image that I'm really tuning into here is the person walking on that path, on that long, long spiritual road. If you don't know, wands are associated with spiritual energy. So when it comes to trying to figure out what we are focusing on, wands is going to point us in the direction of we're talking about soul growth here. We're talking about the long journey inward, deep, deep into all of those nooks and crannies where we might have been holding on to some of the stories that other people have told us or that we might have maybe put into the back of our minds because they were traumatic experiences. Whatever it is, Leo placement people, y'all have been doing an incredible job just staying focused, staying on that path. Now, this is a 9 card, which also tells me that you're nearing the end of a particular spiritual journey that you're on right now, which also means that you're looking ahead to the next thing. But the main crux of this reading is that y'all are looking ahead far too soon, far too early, far too soon. Gruel. So we've got the Ace of Wands as well as the Eight of Worlds in your stop cards, in the stop position of this spread. Now, the Eight of Worlds is telling us about change that you want to be creating in your material world and everything that's outside of you that still affects you or is even affected by you. And Ace of Wands, again, we're working with the spiritual here. And Ace is number 1. It's the beginning of the next journey. But these cards are in your stop position, baby, because you are trying to fast forward through the changing of the seasons. You are trying to fast forward through the shedding of the snake skin. You're trying to fast forward to the part where you can just feel like that dopamine hit from the next new thing. And while it is so admirable that you are ready for the next thing, you really need to stop trying to rush the process. This is your obstacle card, the Seven of Worlds. You're trying to rush the process. Seven is all about empowerment and protection. So if you are trying to just, again, like get that next dopamine hit, you're trying to get that next like of feeling of fire, of energy, because it's been kind of draining being at the end of a journey. The point of the end of a journey is not to get going on the next one. It's to rest. It's to learn all of the things that you've already broken through. Like, this is the breakthrough card. If you are searching for the next breakthrough to happen, the next epiphany, and you're looking for the next rush, then you're missing out on really grounding yourself in that empowered message that you got from the spiritual journey that you are wrapping up right now. You're not keeping it sacred. That's a part of protective energy, is keeping things sacred. And the sacredness of what you have learned and the integrity of the message and the epiphanies that you learned need to be acknowledged, need to be honored, because they are worthy of your time. And if that means that you have to slow down, you gotta slow down. This is your obstacle. This is your blockage. This is something that is probably a pattern for you that you keep doing over and over. You keep forgetting to hold that gratitude for where you're at. So in your start position, we've got the Woman of Crystals, the Guardian, which is so apt for this message. It's really just a reinforcement of that need to like slow down, soften up, really get to the core of where nurturing comes from for you, and then guard that epiphany that you had from this journey, and really alchemize, like put it in your brain. Create a crystal is the equivalent of swords in traditional tarot. So crystals is talking about mental energy and where you are in your mindset. Develop that mindset of not only gratitude and a guardianship of all that you hold sacred from all of the journeys that you've taken, but also understand that your mindset creates new worlds for yourself. So if you're like rushing to create the next world and you're rushing through the seasons, then what is that going to say for the world that you're creating? What is that going to say for the next spiritual journey that you are trying to look forward and illuminate? If you are doing things with an energy of rushing, then that's how you're always going to feel. You're always going to feel like you're rushing through things, my darling. Start seeing yourself as a guardian of the worlds that you're creating, because you are creating a new self. You're creating a new version of yourself every time you take a spiritual journey, and every time you choose to learn a lesson and like really get in there and roll around in the mud like a pig in shit, like one of my favorite people always says. When you get in there, that is a way to honor what you are going through. But if you don't come out and then alchemize all of, the dried shit that is on you and turn it into armor, or turn it into a cloak, or turn it into fertilizer, really just put not just put to use, because I feel so consumerist, but alchemize. Take everything and continue um, to use it in a way that benefits you, not just for the sake of using things and using everything that you have, but using what you need at the time that you need it. And obviously, you were going through something that you needed right now, that you needed at the moment you needed it. that you are not ready yet for the next thing. You might feel that way, but I promise you, you can get just as many dopamine hits from doing this as you can from doing this, okay? You don't need to fast forward. You can sit with it, you can honor it, you can look at all of the different facets of the gems that you've gotten. And I would even suggest something that might be helpful. Is looking up. It is a story that originates from the Middle East, and I'm not going to tell the story because I don't feel that it's appropriate for me to do that. But it is essentially a fable on sand turning into diamonds, and somebody being on a journey and collecting sand. So I suggest that you try looking up that story, that fable, so that you can get this message, because that's what this is really about. And I would love to explain it further, but I think it would serve you better for you to look it up and to find it on your own. So in the case that this is a pattern for you, and you're hearing this and you're like, yeah, this is nothing I haven't heard my guides say before to me already, or this is nothing that I haven't felt in my body because of the sickness that I keep experiencing over and over, that makes me slow down, that forces me to slow down. If this is something that you've heard over and over, is to slow down and to be present with all the things that you're already with, it might be time for you to get a personalized reading and a one-on-one with me or with somebody, so that you can dig a little deeper and really crystallize everything that you feel like you're trying to learn at this time in your life. So if you would like to get a reading with me, I would be honored and delighted. And I have links in the caption below. I also have an opportunity every month. I raffle off a free card reading in my Patreon. So if you're in that $5 a month tier, then you would be able to potentially have the opportunity to get a free reading from me as well. But if you would like a reading sooner rather than later, I've got a couple of different options. Some are cheaper than others, but I would love for you to get that clarity so that you can keep moving forward with the confidence that you deserve. I love you so much. You fucking got this. And I hope that you go and check out some of the other videos that I've just posted for all of the other facets of, the zodiac, as well as I hope that you really take some time, like plan to slow down, plan to sit with some of the things that you've been going through. You've got this. Again, I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Mwah. See you, Leos.